Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to week 30. Now, in this video, we are going to cover a topic that has been tested in our final exam for a couple of semesters already and will still be tested again. This is also a continuation to the topic covered previously, which was comparative and superlative adjective. All right. Now, comparison paragraph, as you can guess from its name, is a paragraph that compares two or more items. The purpose of this short paragraph is not only to present the similarities of these items, but also the differences. Now, normally, these items will be presented in a table form to make it easier for you to analyze the information. And at the end of the day, it is you who will transcribe the information into a written or paragraph form. When talking about comparison paragraph, it is very important for you to remember to follow a certain structure to it. As many essays have out there, comparison paragraph possesses a structure that not only allows you to organize your content, but also it helps the reader to understand your content. Okay, a comparison paragraph contains four elements altogether: introduction, similarities, differences, and conclusion. Now, while each of these elements presents us with different information, all of them must appear in one paragraph only. I repeat, one paragraph only. All right. Now, while writing the introduction is probably the easiest part of all. As mentioned earlier, you will be presented with a table, and therefore mentioning the table is a good start. There are many ways that you can write the introduction, but the simplest one is the table or this table shows the similarities and differences between blah blah blah. Keep in mind that you may follow this exact sentence, but what comes after the word between depends on what items do you need to compare in the table. If the table compares different car brands in Malaysia, for example, you will go, this table shows the similarities and differences between Proton, Honda, and Toyota car models in Malaysia, for instance. Make sure you know what the items you are comparing in the first place. Now, writing a good introduction is not only about telling the readers what the paragraph is about, but it's also about doing it in the simplest way. Do not bother writing an introduction with three or four sentences. A one sentence introduction is actually more than sufficient. All right. Now, when describing similarities and differences, all that's required is your skills in comparative and superlative adjective that was covered extensively before. When describing similarities, there are two ways to do it. Number one, use both. For instance, both cars are black, or both universities opened in 1960. Another one is by using the phrase as blank as, and the blank is for an adjective that describes both items you are comparing. When comparing differences or describing differences, on the other hand, apply the skills of comparative adjective. For example, Toyota Harrier is bigger than Honda City, uses the word bigger than to compare two items. KLCC is more amazing than KL Tower, for example, uses more amazing because there is no such word as amazinger. All right. When analyzing a table, you must also remember that you are most likely presented with numbers. While mentioning the exact numbers is good, sometimes you must also be able to round up the numbers, especially if the numbers are too big. And there are many ways for you to do it. For instance, RM 15,998 can be rounded up to either more than 15,000 or just below 16,000. When comparing item X, for example, and item Y, it will be a bit tiring to mention their exact price. So rounding them up to talk about their similarity would be very good. For example, both item X and item Y are priced below 16,000 ringgit. Now, these items can also be described as a difference because item Y is more expensive than item X. Now, lastly, let's talk about conclusion. Writing a conclusion is probably as easy as writing the introduction. So easy that all you have to do is rephrase the introduction. If in the introduction you said the table shows the similarities and differences between Honda, Toyota, and Proton car models in Malaysia, rephrase this sentence into, in conclusion, Honda, Toyota, and Proton are some of the most popular car brands or car models in Malaysia. As simple as that. Now, rewrite the introduction while retaining the almost similar meaning is all you have to do for the conclusion. Also, keep in mind that there is no such thing as a conclusion. All right? It doesn't exist in any English speaking world. Instead, use the easy ones like in conclusion, in a nutshell, or to conclude, and so on and so forth. All right? So that was it, comparison paragraph. I will be sharing a sample of a very good comparison paragraph on Ely page very soon with the breakdown. All right, and I need you to check it out for further understanding. Until then, have a good day. Assalamualaikum.